My name's Iain Whyte. I was first involved with Christian Aid, I suppose, at quite an early age when I was an assistant minister in Cumbernauld. But when I was a parish minister in Paisley, I was asked to join the board of Christian Aid. And I was on the board for a number of years. And then from 1990 to 94, I was the National Secretary for Scotland. So I was employed by Christian Aid. And I've been involved in Christian Aid. I still do house-to-house collections and help at the annual book fair at St Andrews and St George's West in Edinburgh. During the time I was a board member, the move between just simply supporting projects, important as that was, and dealing with emergencies, moved towards campaigning about the roots of poverty. It wasn't without a bit of resistance. People feared that the ordinary punters who gave the money might be put off and it might be seen as being political. Well, I tend to think that Desmond Tutu was right when he said, show me the Bible where politics is not in, and I can't find that kind of Bible. I'm an old anti-apartheid groupie, as it were, and I went actually to represent the Church of Scotland at a radical conference, Black Reformed Christians. And I was on the board of Christian Aid, and I suggested that I might go and see Desmond Tutu, who was then the Secretary of the South African Council of Churches. And standing waiting greatly excited to see this, even then, quite famous man. And he came out in an African shirt, and there was a woman with him, and he looked across to me and he said to her, well, I've got to go now because this man is from Christian Aid and they give us money and I've got to be kind to him. He roared with laughter and in we went. For a long time we wondered if apartheid would end, and one of the first exciting things, it was just days before I took up my post as National Secretary for Christian Aid, I went to Mandela Square in Glasgow when we heard that Mandela was released, and there was a big rally there, and I was pushed onto the platform and represented the churches, which I had no mandate to, but I was the church's representative on Scottish anti-apartheid, and they said, we want you to speak on behalf of the church. And that was very easy because both in the Church of Scotland and through the ecumenical movement and Christian Aid, there has been huge involvement in supporting that day. We are one of the Church's agencies, and we are engaging constantly ordinary church folk to see the gospel beyond just what happens on a Sunday. And that's a very simple thing, but I think that is still to be the Church's agency and to be involved with people of all different denominations, but it's a very grassroots movement. And that was very much the impression that many of our overseas partners, when I was involved with their tours, got. Many of them thought that Christian Aid was a kind of pot of gold from London that was just distributed, and it somehow appeared almost in the sky. And one person did say that, and he said now in going around and seeing people, just ordinary situations like a small book sale or a coffee morning or a sponsored walk or something, so these are ordinary people doing things for people they've never met.